What's going on, everybody? We're back again. It's a look at what has just been. I am going to be joined by Saeed and Owen very shortly, but with me already is Paul. Paul, we've just sat down, we've just watched another top of the table clash. I just want to get how you feel about that, because going off what people have sent to me so far and the reaction that I've had so far on my social media in terms of that result and that performance is, there is an awful lot of negativity out there still thinking that, you know what, today was a chance and we bottled it. We didn't go for it. We didn't have enough going forward. How did you see it, mate? Was it a case of we didn't look like we wanted to, or did we just play, like Ollie said, poorly and not play well enough to actually win the game?
Yeah, we bottled it, mate. Big time for me, we bottled it. Listen, we're never going to get a chance like Anfield again. No fans, no centre defenders. You've got to take the opportunities when you're playing Liverpool like that. There's no fans behind him. You've got no one at the centre back. We didn't exploit it. We had to exploit it. We were too curious. We're too scared of them. Let's meet fire with fire. And we should have... Listen, a point all day, it's a good point, but you think, listen, we take 3 points there. We beat Sheffield United. We're 9 points clear of them before we even play Spurs in the next game. It was a big opportunity for me, mate. And everyone keeps going on at us. We're not title contenders. We're not this. That game summed it up for me. I think you've got to take these opportunities. We had to go for it. We missed a chance there. 9 points we could have been clear of them before they played. That's if we beat Sheffield United, but we're going to beat them. So we could have been 9 points clear. 9 points clear of them by the time they play their next game. And they've got Spurs. Big opportunity missed for me. Disappointed. And you know what? Listen, that's why players like Cantona's, your Ronaldo's, your Rooney's, they're superstars, they're legends, because they step up for games like this. And no one steps up there. They step up, and that's why they're legends at this club. You've got to step up in these big games. You've got to perform in these big games. No point performing against your Burnleys. You've got to perform. If you want to be a legend at United and you want to be down as one of the best, you've got to perform in games like this. And for me, two of the big money names signings, they didn't do it. They didn't do it.
What you said there, Paul, mate, is echoing what an awful lot of people are saying on social media right now. A lot of United fans thinking that was a missed opportunity. Saeed, mate, we just sat through it. Very similar to the City game, another 0-0. We're not seeming able to score goals in these big games, mate. I mean, personally, I thought defensively we were rock solid. But our forward line performance today, mate, lacked big time for me. Is it a case of, like Ollie just said, we didn't play well enough, or was we set up to not really go for it, not take too many risks there today? How did you see it, mate?
Do you know what? I'm going to come with a different angle, man. I'm kind of happy with the point, me, you know. Like, honestly, man, like, you know, normally I come in, I'm moaning me, you know, like, I'm like,
oh, change, man.
He's already moaning about Ollie. He's happy with Ollie. This is
listen.
Let's ring the Pope, man. This is a big day.
Listen, it's a big day today. I'm not complaining today. You know what? Yeah. Yes, we could have had them chances where Pogba should have scored. Bruno should have scored. Rashford today, buddy, let's not get started on him, mate. He was absolutely awful.
We'll get into the ratings in a minute, but
But for me, I'm not going to lie to you, man. I've been to Anfield so many times, man. Like I said, like watching Anfield, and we've been getting peppered after peppered. I know this is not my United Football Club in terms of we can't come out and say, oh, positives, we got a point, but do you know what? We're still top of the league. You know, I think Shaw tonight was unbelievable. I think you just got to come out there and think, you know what, point gained, and let's go out of there. And we've come out of there unscathed. That's the biggest thing for me. You come out of there. Listen, man, you know what it's called, mate? Football culture, mate. It's all about football culture. I've seen this before, mate. When we played Yaya Toure in the final in Rome, they had Yaya Toure, but we had Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez. We had the most potent attack in the world. And they stepped up, big game mentality. Fabinho, Henderson, the bbig game players. As much as they're poor, I'm not centre back, they're big game players. They've got the mentality, mate. It's all about the mentality. When you have that mentality, mate, you never fade away. And that's what it is, man. And the problem is, we didn't do that. We didn't have the belief to go and do it. And that's why I always say we won't win the league. We don't have the belief to do it. But we take the positives and we go out there. And it's a point, man. I said before in the lead up to this, 2-2 draw. I never thought it was going to be as this boring, but it's a point game for me, man. Just take it and let's go.
Yeah, I mean, Saeed, mate, you can feel the disappointment in Paul's voice. You can see it in the comments as well. started looking a positive spin on it there, as crazy as you want to take that. But, I mean, looking at it, mate, you've got to go, okay, Ollie said we didn't play well enough. So can you, or can Ollie, in terms of the people who are saying it was negatively set up, can Ollie do anything about that final ball from Rashford? Martial doing nothing. Bruno not doing anywhere near enough to the standards we set him. Pogba basically was the only one for me who really showed up in the top half of the pitch. I thought he was a different level. Can Ollie really change that? Can he do anything about what them players are doing in terms of their decision making? Or is it a case of just, you know what, like a lot of fans seen it, did we go out there for the draw and that's what we got at the end of it? Because we could have easily took it with the chances we created. And I'll ask you this as well, mate. Are you more worried as a Liverpool fan with that performance?
Oh, Saeed's disappeared, mate.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
Go on, Owen, mate.
Yeah. In all fairness, it's a rare occasion, but I do agree with Saeed in terms of the way you look at the game. In terms of, I feel like probably 70-80% of the fan base, if you go into the game, you'd have taken a draw. And it is disappointing, and I do see Paul's point of like it's a missed opportunity, but at the end of the day, they haven't lost at Anfield since, was it April 2017?
Does that not annoy you that there was a chance there today? Don't
get me wrong.
We could have derailed them completely there today. It's not that feeling about it.
Yeah, it pisses me off. That's what I said. Like, I'm like, I'm not happy with the result, but I'm like, yeah, it's done. And look, as I put on my story, 2 points clear. We're having a beer. Like we're still at the top, and we're still in and about it. And I feel like we're we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. And I feel like taking a point at Anfield is a good result in any season, let alone, apparently they're the best team of all time, and everyone hyping them up this much. So it's a good result, really and truly. I mean, we had chances, we didn't take them, but 0-0 at Anfield, it's not the end of the world. I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone needs to be.
It wasn't a Jose Mourinho 0-0, was it? Let's be
honest.
No,
it wasn't. We had chances. We had chances. Yeah. As in, I think it shows if you go to Anfield and get a draw, and their goalie is being touted for man of the match. Yep. You've had a fucking decent game, to be fair, and we played well. And not in the first half. In the second half, we came a lot more to life. But look, it's not a bad result. I feel like there will be a lot of panic with people, like with United fans, and I just think it's sort of just calm down. I think it's a good result. I think we would have taken it at the start of the day. So I think it's all right, man.
Yeah. Sean pretty much sums it up there with a super cheers, Sean, mate. It was a what could have been game, but thumbs up. We move on. We're still top of the league. We're nearly halfway through the season. If we look at it in the long-term picture, you've got to go, okay, coming into the halfway point of the season and we're top, then Jesus, I'd have been snatching your head, your hand, your leg, everything off you to get that, to be honest, at the start of this season. So looking at it long-term picture-wise,
we've got to break the duck and beat a big team. You can't keep shaping Jordan. You want to win the title, you've got to win them.
Yeah, that's what I agree with. Absolutely, Paul. And that's why I still believe we won't win the league. That's why, for me, the top.
This was I got brought down the peg. I'm hype, but I thought this was the best chance, and I thought we stuck into ourselves. And then I'm now sitting on the trail.
Ollie made the subs too late, and I think for me, Cavani wasn't the answer for me. I know people are going to say he can hold up the ball, but it's a different type of game for me, man. And I looked at it, I thought Donny van de Beek should have came in for me.
Well, what would you... Yeah, you were saying Donny van de Beek, but like in terms of that lineup, I don't think, apart from Bailly, I don't think any United fan...
wasn't the lineup for me. I think obviously maybe Lindelof or Bailly, but I think Lindelof today, bloody hell, he had an amazing game.
I mean, I don't think we can have any issues with the defence today at all. So
No,
I thought they all turned up today, so I haven't got an issue with them. Thought the setup was good, and they were switched on for a full 90 minutes, which is nice to see.
But
nice to see.
With Adam, though, I think for me, what Ollie's got to realise is taking probably the better players off for me. I think Martial, I know he didn't do a lot, but he held up the ball. He had 5 successful dribbles in the first half. I think for me, Rashford should have been taken off. Bruno should have been taken off quite longer than he should have. You know what I mean? But that's the problem we're too heavily relying on these players, and we're not giving other people a chance. And that's why, for me, Paul, that's why you're frustrated, mate. Ollie won't do that, man. He'll do it late, and it's a bit like bit of mismatch. You know what I mean? I think he could have put Pogba in maybe the hole, and then probably put Greenwood a bit earlier. But it's just a fine margins, Paul. It's a fine margins to win the league.
It is. That's
the difference between winning it and losing it.
Yeah, but like, look, we're talking about win the league. Look, and I know it would be fucking amazing. As I have said, I will happily jump into the canal bollock naked. But it's not
going the deep end, mate. Yeah.
But make sure I go in the deep end. Obviously, won't try and get the broken foot out of it. But at the end of the day, lads, if we came into this season, our main goal at the start of the season was to close the gap, and we have done that 100%. It was shown in the fact that this time last year we went to Anfield, we lost, we were 30 points behind Liverpool. We are now 3 points ahead of them. That is a 33-point turnaround. And obviously Dave dropped off a lot, and we're not at the top level. But at the end of the day, we wanted progress, and we can see progress, guys. So
When you're sat in the driving seat, though, it's hard to accept, isn't it? Now we've never been in this position for 7 years. We've waited for this, and now we're there. You don't want to see us fall off. You want to see us kick on. This is the time to kick on against him. For me, I thought it was a big opportunity, mate. A really big opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, the mix there. I mean, this is the thing. Saeed touched on it then, guys. And it's like the mid says there in the super chat. I hate to say it as a United supporter, but I think Donny needs to leave. He shouldn't be behind Scott McTominay. It's a disgrace. And Saeed touched on it when Ollie makes the changes, and it comes to it again today. Bruno had a poor game today. Rashford had a poor game. I don't agree with what Saeed said. I thought Martial was just horrific. I think the guy's mood and his attitude at the moment, he's just doing amazing.
That's a problem.
Mate, they're all as bad as each other, and I don't think
our forward line was.
I don't think Rashford or Martial deserve a spot in that team ahead of Cavani at the moment. That's what I think, because Cavani is forward for me. Cavani's a different level, and if they're not picking up off what Cavani does, the immaturity showed today in our front line was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous to a man, apart from Paul Pogba. I'm going in on all of them today. I'm not giving any of them a break at all. Bruno, Martial, Rashford.
Rashford should have played that ball to Cavani. As in,
don't even get me started on it, mate. I know.
I was fucking raging. Honestly, I felt like throwing my glass across the fucking house.
This is it. This is it, guys. This is a channel rid of all agendas. When a player who you like plays bad, we're calling it out. And I'm calling it out today, which is why I'm spinning this player ratings on its head. We're starting up top because I feel like we need to get in detail about this front line, because for me, it's not good enough. Paul touched on it there, and the opportunity was there. He's right. It was. They had 2 centre midfielders at the back. I've never seen Robertson and Alexander-Arnold be so poor. I've never seen Liverpool be this poor in a long time. And like I said at the start, I think Liverpool will be more concerned as a Liverpool supporter than a United one right now, because United can surely only get better up front. But, Paul, I'm going to come to you first, mate, on this one. I'm going to get straight into the ratings. I'm going to start with Rashford because I had an issue with him today, beyond. And it was just a case of, seriously, just learn from your mistakes, Marcus. Learn from your mistakes. It doesn't seem like he's doing it at the moment. He needs, and I'm Marcus Rashford's biggest fan. I've always backed him up, but I'm not afraid to bring him down a peg when it needs it, mate. And today, the decision-making, mate. I mean, what did you think of Rashford today, Paul? I thought he just looked like he'd just come into the team and wasn't established at all.
Yeah, I agree 100%. That's the difference between an elite level player and a good class player, you know. Elite player, that ball from Fred, I thought it was an unbelievable ball. He had to take it on. He had to take it on his stride. And then again with Cavani, I thought that was a poor option for me. But you know what? Pogba playing right wing, he's not even a right winger. And for him to be the star man says it all about the front three. He's not even a right winger, man. And he lost that game there. You know, and that says it all about the other front two. I thought they were poor. I thought it was a very poor game from both of them.
Yeah, I mean, Miz says there, honestly, guys, which big European team does Scott McTominay get on the bench for? If he doesn't start for Bayern or Madrid, he shouldn't be at United. I mean, Scott McTominay.
That's well out of order. I think that's so out of fucking order.
So we get the opinions. This is why obviously, if you all see my YouTube short, the video that I put out recently yesterday regarding Rashford, and they had Grizz on, and people were trying to convince themselves if he was telling the truth or not when he said that he rates Scott McTominay. We'll get into Scott in a minute. It keeps throwing us off because everyone's throwing the chats and it's hard to keep up. Our attack has barely.
I cannot agree with what he's saying to a certain extent. Sorry, Owen, but I can't agree to a certain extent.
Paul, what are you giving Marcus today, Paul, mate? Let's get back to the front line. We'll give Owen his shout in a minute.
5.
5 out of 10. Said, mate, I know you had an issue with. I think we all had a problem with Rashford today, mate. To be honest, but what did you think?
For me, mate, I think he's been playing poor for a while, but he's been kind of producing the quality up front, and you know, I mean, the game against
he's getting that assist and the goal, isn't he, when it matters? That's what's getting him out of jail a bit.
Yeah, and that's the thing for me. I know you kind of like it at one point, but I think down the line, mate, it will dry up for you. I think today, mate, offside 7 times in one half. Guys, one of them wasn't. No, they got that wrong. But but listen, guys,
that he's cutting right on that delay and putting the flag up.
But he did, exactly.
That's a stupid rule. That is stupid.
It was a fucking mile off. That was.
You know what, mate? I think it was terrible today. That one with Cavani. For me, he looked at the papers, mate. The paper headlines. Rashford scores a winner in the Manchester versus Liverpool game. He looked at the headlines instead of thinking. He wanted the headlines, mate. I'm sorry, Rashford. You've got to be a team player, man. And he didn't give it. For me, I'm giving him a 2, mate. A 2.
Yeah, this is a harsh show today, people.
Man, I'm not messing around, man. I'm not messing around.
Standards are going up on the United fan base, man. They're really going up. They're not accepting a draw at Anfield. And the performance ratings are hitting it hard. Owen, bring me back to some form of Rash. I don't know. Hit it, mate.
No, Rash has been poor for. I think he's been poor the majority of this season. I don't think any United fan would say otherwise. But he has been getting away with it, as the lad did say, in terms of getting his goals. I mean, he got the assist against Burnley. So he's been he's been poor in the game, but he's been producing. So you can't have a go. But today he was awful. And like as we went about that, we talked about that Cavani. They should have played Cavani through. I was fucking raging. To say I was bullying would be, and like I was fucking honestly, I was purple. He should. He plays it through. We're sitting here. I'm drinking a beer and saying we're 6 points clear, but sadly it weren't to be. But I think 2 is very, very, very fucking harsh.
What are you hitting him with, mate? What are you going with?
I'm going with 5.
5.
It's harsh. It's harsh
5.
because
5.
Yeah. Why are you giving him a fucking 2?
5 is an average game. 5 is no. Hold on, Owen. 5
is a fucking 2, man. Come on,
5. Did you watch
right?
Owen? 5 is a basic game.
5, because he had a standard performance.
A 2 to give away.
Hey, do you know what, guys? In the comments, it's rated from a 2 to a 5 for Rashford. So really, you're all in. You're all in the same area. That's it. I think if we was in a state that we was last season at this time of the year, then I think everyone's ratings would have been more. The fact that we're actually doing all right kind of sort of gives him a little bit of hope. I'll give people a little bit of hope with the scores. But next up, I'll come to you first, Owen, on this one then, mate. Let's say Anthony Martial got subbed off after 60 minutes. I don't think he liked his role today by the look of it, in terms of the amount of defending he had to do. I thought he was probably thinking in his head he was going to be that Rashford position, that number 9. And he just never got into the game for me in a way that we wanted Martial to get into it.
I'd say Martial probably a 4 or a 5. He just didn't look at it today. He had to come off 60. And look, as I gave Rashi a 5 as well, he should have come off earlier as well, I thought. But it was just Martial has just not looked because towards the end of the last season, we seen the goal scorer that we thought we had got when we got him from Monaco originally, and he's just been poor this season, really and truly. Like, he gets the odd goal here and there, and you think, oh, maybe he's breaking through again, but he wasn't great. He wasn't at the races today, and maybe it was the game plan as well. You can maybe look at that, but I'd probably give a 4.5 for Martial today. He just didn't do it for me.
4.5. I mean, Saeed, mate, where are you going with Martial today? I know you thought he did okay.
Yeah, I thought he did okay. I'm giving him a 5 today. I think first half, I thought it was bright. He kind of, he did, like I said to you, he had 5 successful dribbles in that first half. Kind of like got us forward a little bit. Second half drifted off. But then again, did we even have the ball second half, mate? You know what I mean? Like, they kind of like dictated the game, started second half, and then rightly so, you probably would have took him off. But I think what's happening right now is it's easier to take off Martial because it's like for like with Cavani. So that's why probably you look at it thinking, it's, in hindsight, it's going to probably happen every game now, which is kind of a bit of a, you know, I mean, it's not. I'm not saying to worry, but it's gonna hamper his confidence badly. But tonight, 5 today, just went at it tonight.
Yeah, I had a problem. I've not. It's not so much a problem today with Martial. It's a general problem, bit similar to Rashford. That you set a standard last season, which we thought was adequate. When we're looking to make that next step, Paul said it. Owen said it. Saeed said it already, guys. It's that next step now. We're talking. Cavani comes on and absolutely shows them up to what a striker should be. Look at Harry Kane today. Imagine Harry Kane in some of them situations. That's a level. There's a level, and then there's one just below it. And I think Rashford and Martial are struggling to take that next step. I know age is on their side, but when is a striker in his prime?
I'd fucking love it.
Age is the prime.
Fucking love it.
Anyway, Paul, mate, Martial for you today, was it another one of them games where it was like, didn't look up for the fight? Or
I love Saeed summing up 5 dribbles. That's what he's supposed to do. That's what he's done there. Come on. Let's say 60 minutes. That's one dribbling. 12.30 seconds. You know what I mean?
No, but it's something, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's something.
He tried. Listen, he tried. We were set up defensive, weren't we? As soon as he got the ball, him and Pogba were back in a defensive line with him. You know, we were set up to defend, so the way we set up didn't suit the way Martial plays. So for me, he didn't really get a chance. 5.
Yeah. 5. Well, that's the front 2 sorted anyway. But we still got more. I had it on today. I got it on. My merch is in. Bruno.
Mate, far from
that, mate. There was nothing magnificent.
What I want to say, though, mate, that's a disgrace.
Really nothing.
I thought that was a disgrace what he did, not wanting to come off.
What are you on about, mate?
I thought that was a disgrace not wanting to go off, though. For me, I can't have that, mate. You know what I mean? You've got to be a team player. I think for me, you know, he looked at man. I know what you're looking at here, but for me, he didn't want to be subbed off today. That for me, I don't like that, man. If a player's on the bench,
what the fuck is wrong with that?
No, it's not, man.
You know what? I'm gonna spin this here right now. Saeed's got his point. I hear what Saeed's saying, but I totally hear what Owen's saying as well. What you got to look at there, in then is, have you got to start saying to Ole, big up to Ole for actually saying, you know what? Yeah, you have been our best player all season, but today it's not happening. Get off.
and that's why I'm bigging up Ollie. I said, what you got to do though is, if a player is
sorry, hang the fuck on.
Hold on.
Saeed is bigging up Ollie.
No, hold on.
Close the
Because
fuck.
you know what?
Close everything. Saeed's
hold
bigging
on.
up Ollie.
Listen,
hang
relax.
on.
I'm a football fan.
Let's ring. We got to ring the Pope. For fuck's sake.
No, hold on. What I'm trying to say to you, though.
Hey, let's give Saeed his credit. He actually said it was a good result, and Ollie made a good decision in getting Bruno off the pitch.
Just off earlier, by the way. If that's one a slight legacy of Ollie, should take off a bit earlier.
Not one player is big enough. Not one player is big as Saeed.
I don't like that, mate. I don't like that, man. I don't think no player should be big enough for this football club. That's why when Wayne Rooney wanted to leave, I said, "You leave then." Do you know what I mean? Even though it's one of our legends of the football club, when he wanted to leave, I said, "Go then." But for me, Bruno Fernandes, that point, when he tried to look at McTominay, say, "Look at him, he's injured." That was for me. I kind of think, you know what? I don't want to come off, and for me, you got to come off, man. You've got to come off. When the manager says come off, you come off, mate. You give it. It's a team game, man. Owen, it's a team game.
And what are you giving Bruno today, mate? What are you giving Bruno, Saeed?
Listen, I've got to go on same as Rashford, mate, too.
I mean, to be honest, though, Ollie bringing Bruno off, I mean, his other option was Rashford. And to be fair, they were both probably as bad as each other today. So, I mean, Paul, Bruno didn't shine for us today again. People are going to say and build it up, Bruno against the top six again, this and all that. I mean, they're just going to do it just through sheer agenda-driven garbage. But we're not deluded, mate. He was pretty poor today again. So what did you reckon for Bruno, Paul?
Yeah, same as. I think he's very poor. I don't think it's an agenda. I think it's known facts. You know, we want him to turn up. We love him. We want him to turn up in these big games. And for me, he was the only man in today who played in his actual position. He's probably the poorest player we had on the pitch.
Yeah.
Wise, you know what I mean? And for me,
doing the job, yeah.
Yeah, Ollie was correct. Like, if he had a good game, fair enough, but he was poor. So I didn't get why he was huffing and puffing. 2 minutes ago, we're getting a point out of it. But what I don't get his problem. It freed Pogba up. It put Greenwood on the right wing where he wanted to play. So I didn't get it, to be fair. But it shows his passion about the club. He wants to win. He wants to play in the games like that. And to be fair, I think he would have been disappointed himself because he knows he had a poor game today. And I think it was more anger at himself than it was Ollie taking him off. I think that's what more it was, because he's disappointed. You know, he loves the club. He knows how big this game is. And when you don't perform in big games, your head goes and his head went completely. It's
big games. It's like me. Diego Forlan was doing nothing until he bagged 2 goals at Anfield. The fans changed their mind very, very quickly. Very quickly. But I mean, Owen, mate, I touched on it a minute ago there with Rashford saying that he's been getting the moments, the assist, the goal that's sort of been bailing him out a little bit. Bruno could have got the match winner today, mate. And then we may have been talking differently. What did you rate to Bruno today, Owen, mate?
Bruno, I feel like Bruno, not even just today, I feel like he's been off the boil in the last 2 or 3 games, really and truly. He needs more, I don't know, like maybe it's more, he might be burnt out. I feel like he needs to get a bit more of a rest. I feel like even like with Watford, he was on the bench. Like he shouldn't have been on the bench. Like it's not just a physical rest, like mental rest as well, because he's up for the game and he should have been. He should be getting more rest time, really and truly. And I think Donny needs to be rotated in more with him. And I think we'll see that later on in the season, hopefully, anyway. But Bruno today was poor. But obviously, if Alisson doesn't stop that with his foot, we're here talking about a different game. And look, but you know, if your auntie had balls, she'd be your uncle. So it doesn't really matter. So for Bruno personally, I'd probably give a 4. He was poor and he just wasn't at the races, and he hasn't been for a while. And hopefully now I don't know, he's probably going to start against Fulham, but I think he needs to be sort of rotated and he needs to be used well.
What are you giving him first of all, Owen, mate? What's your rating for Bruno?
4. I said no.
Okay, I think that's pretty fair for the front line, to be honest. Is there a point though, going on Bruno quickly, lads? Is there a point that? And I've noticed that his form has dropped off recently, like Owen said. But when Bruno's form's dropped off, our forward line and our opportunities and us looking like we're going to score has turned to shit, basically.
Yeah, but why don't we bring in Donny van der Beek then? Why do you sign a £40 million attacking midfielder from Ajax, who he'd been amazing there. Why do you sign him and then don't bring him in when Bruno is having a dip? The whole point.
This brings in the managerial and coaching side of it then, doesn't it, mate? And you open up a whole new argument and conversation altogether. So it's a tough one to call because, like you said, you don't want to slag Ollie off. He's top of the league. But then you're looking at the Donny van de Beek situation and you're like, oh, what is going on there? Is he really waiting it out until Pogba leaves in the summer? It's a weird one to call. It really is. It's a circumstance that I've never seen or come across before. And I think everyone's had their opinion on it and no one can figure it out because it is so surreal that you've got a player there who cannot get on and he's got clear quality. But we will see. We've got a couple of games coming up quick fire again. Will Donny come in at any point? Maybe he will. But that's just that.
You hope so.
Anyway, moving on to I'll tell you what we'll do first then. I'll rate Cavani first then as one of the forwards coming on because I think Cavani did more than the whole front three, barring Pogba, in the time he was on for 30 minutes than they did combined for the full game. I mean, Owen, I'll come straight to you on Cavani quickly then, mate. Is he showing what it takes to be clinical and pick that right ball, the know-how? Is it a case of he is just there and if Martial and Rashford want to get or move on to the next level, they have to be looking at Cavani because he just looks like he's on another planet when he goes up alongside him.
He's a world-class forward. And, like, look, everyone sort of disses on the French league or whatever, but you're not PSG's all-time goal scorer if you're just, if you're a fucking part-time farmer. Like, he was probably our best in terms of attacking threat. When he came on, everyone sort of just, look to him for something. And I feel like in terms of, we brought him in on a year and it's the option for a year to extend, 100% extend that year. And in terms of, I really hope that Rashford and Martial are able to learn from him in terms of his positioning, the runs he makes. Like, he's amazing. And he's been, when we got Igalo, who was a proper striker, because I don't think Rashford or Martial are proper old school number nines in terms of what you talk about, in terms of positioning and runs. So I think he's been a breath of fresh air. I mean, like, look, when we got Igalo in January and he scored a few in the Europa League, we were like, oh, he's great, because we just weren't used to a proper number nine and a proper centre forward. But he's quality, and I really hope he stays for a couple of years, and hopefully he's lifting the Premier League trophy at some point. So Cavani for me today, I'm going to give him a 7.
7. Alien's just not having Ollie at all there. Still blaming him. If we could only subbed Ollie off at half-time for Fergie. Ooh. Paul, mate, Cavani, different level for you, mate. Did he show that when he came on?
Yeah, of course. The movement from up top, the way he was dragging Henderson and Fabinho about. He was creating chances, he was creating space, but we just weren't clinical enough. And for me, I think I prefer Cavani coming off on the bench and starting. When he starts, he doesn't seem the same player. I like him coming off on a sub. And for me, I think we need to go big for a striker in the summer because that's what we're lacking.
That's the key.
I think Wingers,
Is that showing up now?
Yeah.
Is that showing up? What do you give him out of? What's your rating for Cavani, Paul, then, mate?
6. He didn't do it. He acted on the run that 30 minutes. You can't really sum up performance in 30 minutes.
Domingo's in with a super chat. Cheers, Domingo, mate. We need a number 9, Sparky or Rude in their 20s with Tony or Marcus either side. That's why I like Cavani in there with them either side. He takes so much pressure away from them. It's ridiculous. And he thrives on it. Cheers for that, Domingo, mate. Agreed that possibly, God, dare we say we need to go out in the market again and get a striker. Al Mohamed there, open play goals against top 6, very concerned. Yeah, we're just talking about that, mate. That is a bit of a worry, not getting any from open play. Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, do you want to even say them? City, Liverpool. I think it's only Leicester in that top half that we've scored a goal against.
And that was our first away game, the top 6.
Well, we scored a goal against Spurs, but we'll just forget about that game.
Well, that wasn't open play either, mate, was it?
No, it wasn't open play, but it was.
No. Anyway, Saeed, mate, Cavani for you today.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a 6. I think a lot of people are gloating his performance. I don't know if it's that kind of spectacular, but I think he did change the game somehow because it kind of opened up a lot of play. I think we started to get Liverpool out more, but I just feel like for me, the system was kind of wrong. We kind of almost like, half-hearted about it. And you can't play like that with Cavani. He wants full kind of throttle. That's why I don't know if you've seen his face when Rashford didn't give him the ball. He looked straight to the bench, which kind of tells a lot, mate. It really does. So for me, I give him a 6. He needs service, man, but I don't think he's gonna get that, man. Every time he has a chat with Paul Pogba for a reason, because he knows Bruno isn't that kind of player. Rashford isn't that kind of player. And he's looking for Pogba to kind of find him that kind of balls.
And the fact that Pogba's the only one who can translate his language. So
there you go. Probably, yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's the forward line done. Getting on to him, Saeed, I'll stay with you, mate, because you just mentioned him then. My man of the match in the forward line positions, and that was Paul Pogba, mate. He showed the composure and the ball you need in a big game for me today, and he looked like he was our only out ball, mate.
Yeah, you know what, man? If it wasn't for Shaw's kind of unbelievable kind of when he pocketed Salah, mate, I'd have Paul Pogba man of the match because he was everywhere today, getting the ball, winning it. You know what I mean? On the right hand side, can you believe it? Yeah, we're talking about Man United Football Club, and we're playing Paul Pogba right wing, man. It's for me, it's crazy, man. I don't think any other team do that, and I think we only do that to kind of balance the team and kind of make it a kind of
I didn't understand the right-hand side today. It was totally new.
No, it was bizarre, mate. Bizarre. I think it's bizarre, mate, to be honest with you. And I feel like, we will get found out because end of the day, Paul Pogba isn't a right winger. As much as he's doing well there and he's doing well at left wing, he isn't a right winger. And having said that, I thought he should have scored that goal. Good save from the keeper, Alisson. But overall, I'd probably give him a 7,
Yeah, I think that's fair. Paul, Pogba for you, mate. Good today.
Yeah, definitely 100%. Best player on the pitch, And for me, I think he's been playing the best player for the past few weeks. And I think that's why the only reason he played right wing, because Ollie knew he couldn't drop him. And he just needed somewhere to put him. I don't get why right wing. No, playing where you played him against Burnley. You know what? Playing with McTominay, playing with Fred. Don't push him out right wing. He's been our best player, so that was the only disappointment for me. Pushing him out, the guy, and he's still performing. You push him right wing, man, and the guy was one of our best front three players out there. So I said a lot about him at the minute. He's coming on later. I just hope he's not doing it now to find himself a new club. But time will tell. You know what I mean? Time will tell.
Time will tell. What are you giving Pogba then, Paul?
Yeah, I'd say an 8. To be fair, I thought he'd done some silky stuff out there. He had his big moment, his big chance, but. Hey, maybe another day we'll bang that one.
Yeah, not bad. Owen, mate, I think did I already touch you on Cavani, Owen? I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, Pogba, sorry.
Pogba,
Pogba. I'm the same as. Look, Adam's had a couple of beers. Let him be. He's the grandfather of the Man United fan channel. That's what we'll. The father of the Man United fan channel. Legend of a man, but we'll let him be, lads. I'd say I'll probably say a 7.5 for Pogba. He played very well, as Paul was saying. He moved out onto the right wing and did a job, that exceeded the majority of people's expectations. So 7.5 for me. I thought he played very well, and it's just a shame that he is definitely fucking off in the summer.
Shame. I think everyone's in agreement in the comment section as well there regarding Pogba's rating today. Our best outfield player in terms of attacking side of our game, what there was of it. He was the best and everything sort of came through him. Moving on to the defensive side of midfield. This one may divide opinion. So let's start with the McFred combo. For me, I thought McTominay had a poor start to the game, very shaky, but grew into the game as Manchester City go second in the league.
They won't win the league, man. It's to lose this league, man. I tell you that, man.
Yeah. It's the De Bruyne with a cross into another centre half, getting his head on the ball again. Like to share the goals around, don't they? Diaz it is. Carrying on to defensive players. And Scott McTominay, I'll come to you first, Paul, on this one, because I thought he had a shaky start to the game. Passing was poor. He grew into the game a bit, I thought, got better. But you looked at what Thiago did today from the same defensive sort of format and then the creativity he possessed. This is the whole divided fan base opinion on Scott McTominay in terms of does one good thing, then a couple of bad things which get people a little bit. Is he a United standard player? We talked about Rashford and Martial. Is McTominay of that mould in our midfield, would you say?
No, I wouldn't say he's that type of player, but he's a player who does the dogging work, and that's the type of player we've always had, and that's the type of player you need. You go from the Park Jae-sungs to the McTominay to the dogging work, and for me, I thought we all played poor first 20 minutes. It was an absolute disgrace. We shit it. We didn't want to go near him. And Thiago's a completely different player. Thiago's got the skills. Thiago's got the vision. McTominay's just McTominay, and he's just a static player who just does all the donkey shit, sits in front of the back four. He's no carrot, but him and Fred only like him. Ollie loves them two together. He don't like splitting them up. And like you said, they stopped him. They didn't really have much chances. We had the better chances today. So I think Thiago had a good game, but for me, I didn't think they'd done too bad. What can you say?
What do you reckon, mate? What are you giving him, pal?
6.
Saeed, Scott McTominay for you today?
Nah, I'm not sure about 6. I'll probably give him a 4, mate, to be honest with you.
If it was Harry Winks with Pochettino, you'd be giving him a 7. So.
Nah, not to be honest with you, mate. Listen,
Pochettino's gone, mate.
I don't know, mate. I don't know about Scott McTominay, mate. I thought first half he was absolutely poor.
Future captain.
I don't know, mate. I don't know about that, mate.
No, he's a Fletcher.
I just feel like for me, if you're gonna do this, you won't win the league. And if we've got aspirations to win the league, play your better players, mate, and don't accommodate McTominay just so that you can play Paul Pogba on the right hand side. You know what I mean? You could have easily played that game. Paul Pogba and Fred in a double pivot. Got a natural right winger in there in Mason Greenwood or Rashford. Martial on the left, Cavani up top. Maybe
Rashford's not a fucking natural right winger. He proved
he can play on the right wing, can he? He can play on the right wing.
He can't. He's shit on the right wing.
Well, he got assist from there, didn't he? On the week,
he got an assist, yeah, magically.
No, but who else would you put there? Who else would you put there, though? You can't put Greenwood there.
This is my issue with it, because you're all debating where he should play. So people don't like him on the left. People don't like him up front. People don't like him on the right. What is there? What's he been turned into? Because I don't think he's got the character to stand up and say, I'm a centre forward. I think he's just playing wherever he's put because he wants to be in the team and do his best. But at the end of the day, there has to be some stance on it at some point and say, look, this is where you play. Simple as. You know what I mean? That forward line is all over the place at the moment because there's no stability. But back onto Scott McTominay.
Yeah, I'll give him a 5, mate. 5, yeah. You know what? I'll give him a 5.
Five is very popular in the comments. Owen, are you going with the majority on this one, or did you see a different look?
No, to be fair, I think I agree with yourself. As he started out quite poorly, and he sort of grew into the game. He looked better as the game went on, but again, like he does the capabilities to go forward as well. Like he did sort of show that when he won the foul. I think it was around the sort of 60 or 70 minute, but. Yeah, probably 5.5. It wasn't his trademark today, but I don't honestly know what people expect with McTominay. I think I have very much said it from the very start. He is every club that wins a league title has squad players, and he is a squad player for Man United, and he's a very useful squad player in terms of the way that Darren Fletcher was a very fucking useful squad player. And I remember I was at the final in Rome in 2009 when everyone was saying that if Fletcher hadn't been sent off against Arsenal, we would have beat Barcelona. Like, I feel like McTominay will be at the same level as Fletcher. 100%. For me,
interesting that Fletcher does that.
I feel like, no, I'm not saying he is at the same level now. I feel like he will be as important for us as Darren Fletcher was.
Would you say that Donny van der Beek's a good squad player?
So there you go. There you go then.
This is what he's got to balance. I think I mean, you look at Donny van der Beek is in the mould of, you could you could match him up to a few different types of players. I think we have to start using him. I think we really do need to start adding that little bit of a different dimension to our game at certain times. I hope we see that in the next couple of games against poorer lower division teams. So it's one of them. I understand that I said McTominay has got a bright future at United because he knows his role, which is being in the squad. But as terms of starting every single game, not for me. I don't think he's good enough to start every game and be with everyone fit and you want to go and win a game. I don't think McTominay fits in there. I think there's better players, but he has got a role at this football club, and hopefully, I think he does already, realises his position at the club, and he will have a long career at United. Into Fred, I thought Fred was crap today. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'll agree with that one.
Don't think he had a good game at all. I thought his passing was worse than McTominay's. And he just can't get. If Fred is like what the forward line is in midfield, he panics on the ball. It's just I want to grab him and shake his head and go, calm down, stop panicking on the ball. It just looks like it's a hot potato all the time. Compose yourself, and you have got a good player inside you. But stop being so erratic. Said, I'll come to you first on Fred, mate. It's one of them.
Yeah.
Poor Fred games today for me.
Yeah, I think it was a back to the old Fred of last season today. You know, the one that I kind of like didn't think he was a top player, to be honest with you. But I think you're going to get that with Fred, though. I think for me, Fred is going to give you them kind of performances where he sometimes doesn't know where he's playing. Is he one of the persons to press? He didn't press a lot today, which was I think poor from him. Normally, he gets the ball, he wins it. You know what I mean? A lot of kind of 50-50 tackles. He didn't come out today on top. I thought this was a bad day from me today. But saying that, yeah, I'll probably give him a 5 today. I thought it was a bit average today.
Paul, Fred for you today, not pulling up many trees for me. Did you see it any differently?
Did he play?
I think we got Paul on today.
I can't remember what he actually done. I actually can't think of there. What's he done? Did he do anything? So for me, 5. What can you say? You got a point at Liverpool, so give him the benefit of the doubt. 5.
Yeah, I mean, Owen, mate. I think Paul said it there. The comments are saying it all: erratic, inconsistent, up and down. Don't seem to be able to get a full-on Fred every single week, mate. Do we?
No, and I mean, I look at Fred, and it's sort of. I feel like people that are being impatient with Donny. I feel like you kind of have to look at Fred, but it's probably not the best thing to look at in terms of like how it's taken him so long to integrate into the team and sort of be a regular fixture. So I feel like Donny maybe will take him that sort of time, but Fred today didn't. Yeah, as Paul said, didn't put up any trees. Wasn't amazing. I think standard 5. Like he didn't do a lot wrong, but just didn't excite me anyway. He wasn't a great. He just didn't play well today. So a 5, really and truly.
I think pretty much general consensus there. 4s, 5s for Fred. Okay, into the good part of our game. Here we go. Right, I'll start with another player who's been drastically inconsistent this season for me and not really moved on from last season. That's the Spider-Man, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But in the second half, particular today, I thought he did well. I thought he handled Mane quite well in the second half. He was nowhere near as influential if he was much in the first half, Mane. Paul, Bissaka for you today, was it one of the better performances for him? I think best he's been for a few games, in my opinion, today, defensive-wise.
Solid as you can be. Not often you see players like Manny so quiet, and all credit to Wan-Bissaka. We got the scare in the second half when he looked like he was going to tackle him, but look, he pulled out and Manny skipped over. I think he had him in his pocket. You know, he had him in his pocket all day. Didn't worry. It's not the first time he's had Manny and Salah in his pocket. He seemed to like the Liverpool games. You know, he had a good game, to be fair. So I'd give him an 8, to be fair.
8. People agreeing with that one there. United in with 6. Spider-Man gets an 8.
Yeah.
6. Side, mate.
You know what? I'm gonna probably say this for the rest of the back 4. I'm gonna give the whole back 4 an 8. So you might as well make it that easy for you, mate. I'm giving the whole back 4 an 8 because I feel like for me, clean sheet, they were solid. I thought, you know what? Actually, I'll give. Yeah, you know what? I'll stick on this one. Wan-Bissaka will get an 8. I think I'm being a bit harsh on someone else.
You know what, mate? Saeed, you probably nailed it all there, mate. Because today they played as a team defensively, and it worked as a team. Whereas individuals were standing out beforehand, it looked like the defense was working as one. Do you know what I mean? The lines were right, the closing in, the filling in behind was right, the covering was right from every single player. So we'll go with that. We'll go with the whole back line. So, I mean, Paul, you did Bissaka. Do you think anyone else stood out beyond an 8 in that back line? Because they were good today, mate.
Paul? Sure. I thought Shaw was brilliant.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be. I've been a bit harsh on Shaw. I might give Shaw a bit higher, but yeah.
Shaw, does Shaw getting a 9 or an 8?
Shaw's getting 9. Shaw's man of the match.
10.
Shaw's our man of the match.
I think that's probably fair enough. That was probably vintage Luke Shaw. Shaw's giving him a 10.
You're a 10 tonight.
Wow.
Man. Give me Shaw.
Let's get this right, people. Ollie's big, big to Poller. He said the draw was a good result, and he's given a player a 10.
10.
He's flying too.
I'm telling you, man. I'm not even the biggest fan of Shaw. I'm not even the biggest fan of Shaw. You know me. But I got to give credit to Shaw.
There's some dodgy stuff going in them hooker pipes in Rocco. That's what's happening now tonight, obviously, because there's no way that cunt is saying this normally. Anyway,
Honestly,
there's dodgy stuff. Them hooker pipes in Russia are going mad.
I'm telling you, man. 10 out of 10 for sure. He pocketed. Yeah. Listen, let me show you something here.
Go on.
Let me show you something here.
Sometime this week, sorry, man, please.
This is it. This is Shaw today.
That
is Shaw today, guys. He's taking him out for a walk tomorrow. He's taking him out for a walk tomorrow. I'm telling you, man.
You gotta love the guys who made them up there. Brilliant. I mean, Owen, mate, did anyone else? You said yourself, Owen, there, mate. Shaw's your man of the match. Maguire and Lindelof played well. And even De Gea, mate, he had one save to make pretty much that I can remember.
Yeah. I mean, at first, when I looked at that save from the Thiago shot, I was thinking it was an amazing save. But when you look back at it, it's camera save. Yeah, the cameras, Sky, Martin Tyler makes it look a bit more dramatic, but it was, but it was a decent, De Gea played well in there. And to be fair, when I looked at the team lineup, I thought, why the fuck is he starting Lindelof? Like, the way Bailly has been playing over the last few games, I couldn't understand it. I looked at it maybe like in terms of Lindelof's passing, maybe he'd be able to, break on the counter. Maybe it might be a bit helpful to that, but it didn't seem to be the way. And I don't know. I'd say Lindelof and Maguire were a solid performance. Definitely, probably a 7 or an 8 for the two of them, and same for Bissaka. But sure, for me, man of the match, 100%. I say 9 out of 10.
That's it. And to finish off, guys, I'm going to just ask each one of you. Paul, I'm going to come to you first, mate. Overall, I don't want no debating. I just want the first thing that comes to your head. Are you a pint glass? I'll say pint because we all like a bit of a drink. But I'll say pint glass half full or half empty, mate. What are you today?
Half. Got to be half, ain't you know?
No, he asked is it half full or empty. You replied with half. What the fuck? He literally said half full or half empty. You went, it's half.
Paul's taking the half pint and going full.
Fuck it. I love you, Paul, mate.
Right, I'm going. Paul is. You know what? Paul's admitted he's had his flip-flops on this season, so I'm going to make it up. I'm going to go Paul's half full because we're still top of the league. Saeed, mate, are you going to make it 4 here now? What are you going with, mate? Half full or half empty?
No, we're going half full, man. Come on, man.
Half full. He's on 4. Positive Saeed tonight.
Full, you know what I mean? Positive tonight. I'm going to keep it up, man. Yeah, I think for me, take the positives, man. Take the positives tonight.
Yeah. Owen, where you at, mate?
I'm half full. Why the fuck couldn't we be? We're top of the fucking league in January, and it's after 18 games. It's not like you know. I've my mates who are Spurs fans like, oh yeah, we were top of the league. Yeah, you were top of the league after about fucking 8 or 9 games. Pipe the fuck down. Like we are top of the league. 18 games gone, and like, look, I'm not fucking stupid enough to think that we are 100% going to win it, but there's a chance. And when was the last time that we have looked at this point of the season and looked at the table and gone, we could win this? When was the fucking last time? Fergie, that was the last time. Why can't we be positive? Why can't we be excited? Let's be excited. Because what is the point of watching football and being excited as a United? What is the point of watching football if you don't get carried away? If you don't be a little bit of a stupid fucker and make an arse of yourself? Make an arse of yourself. Support it and enjoy it.
That's it. Let's not forget what we are. We're fans. We're not trying to pretend we're anything else. We are just fans on the roller coaster that is this season. And I don't think it's going to stop up and down until that last day, guys. I really don't. But for tonight, we're parking up tonight. That's it for tonight. We're sitting pretty at the top of the league still. 2 weeks there now. That's a good thing. 2 weeks, Nick. Wasn't a little flash in the pan.
Fixtures coming up. Some really nice fixtures coming up as well for us.
True.
Big fixtures.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, guys, that is us for tonight. I am done. I'm out of here. I'm just going to give the boys a quick shout out on their socials. Saeed, mate, United Central closing in, looking for 30k subs, mate.
Yeah, man. Appreciate everyone's support, man. Go check me out. Match reactions on there as well. So, United Central on YouTube, mate.
Positive, Saeed. Owen, mate, Cockney Red 99 on Twitter and the channel, YouTube.
Yeah, Cockney Red 99. Do the before every weekend of the fixtures. Do the crafty couple. Just have a couple of guests on. I've had Adam on. I've had Saeed on. Hopefully, I'll have Paul on the run for himself. And just looking ahead, having a couple of beers, chatting about the football. Please have a look at it. Help me get to 1,000 by the end of the year. That's the aim. So thanks very much.
Good man. And Paul's socials are half anything. Hashtag Paul, cheers for coming on, mate. Boys, we are out of here. Everyone, thank you for the super chats, all the comments, everyone coming in. I know it's been a long day. You've had a lot to watch and get through, but it's all done and dusted now. We move on to another week. I think we've got, is it Sheffield United Fulham in the week, guys?
Fulham, then Liverpool.
Fulham, and then Liverpool in the cup.
Then Sheffield.
And there we go. Yeah. Interesting times. We're still in it. We're still fighting. Guys, take it easy. Give the video a like. As always, share and subscribe if you're watching for the first time. We are out.